talent versus talent. When I talk about talent versus talent, what I mean is this. I may have a talent to be a good roofer, a good trapper, a good whatever. It doesn't matter. I might have certain talents, and I may not have other talents. Of course, musically, I really struggle every day. It's really hard for me, but I'm getting a little bit better each day. Um, but I was working with a kid the other day on one of the wrestling teams that I help coach. I'm like a sixth or seventh assistant coach at Fremont High School, where I have a, I help. I'm kind of a volunteer there, and I encourage kids to be better wrestlers and in both in technique, and I help them to enjoy a more positive take on losing and a more positive take on progression in wrestling. But anyway, I was talking with this young man, and he was getting beat. He's just a skinnier kid, and it's his first year wrestling. He doesn't have the same athletic ability of others, and so he's not a really good wrestler at this point. But he's trying, and he was really discouraged at the meet the other day, at the Roy meet. And he just like I say, just a little scrawny kid and skinny. And I says, what sports do you like? He goes, well, I really like motocross. I go, well, that's good. I like riding dirt bikes too. And I talked to him about, hey, when you first rode a motorcycle, were you able to really do well on it, or did it take you some time and practice to get to where you're at? Well, he's ridden for 6 years and he rides motocross, so he's a really good motorcycle rider. But his wrestling abilities, he struggles with it because he's just brand new. He hasn't gone through the losing steps yet. And in wrestling, there's losing steps. So I said, I'll bet that kid you just wrestled in, that he pinned you. Okay, I'll bet he doesn't ride a dirt bike as near as good as you. And he laughed and he goes, yeah, I'll bet he doesn't. So if somebody has a fancy talent and they're all that, and they're really good and they're all that, and you think, wow, they're amazing, well, they probably don't have another talent that you have. Of course, they probably don't have another talent that you have. For example, LeBron James, he's a really good basketball player, but I'll bet he's a horrible soccer player. I'll bet he's a horrible at table tennis. LeBron James is probably, just because he's such a great basketball player, he's probably not very good at, bowling. I don't know. I'm just saying that, he may not be very good at dirt biking. I'm just saying that just because you're really skilled in one talent doesn't mean you're skilled in all talents. So develop those skills and understand, like I say, the growth mindset understands that I'm going to have many failings, but I'm learning. I'm in a learning mindset where it's going to take time. But the more I practice and the more I participate and the more I enjoy developing my skills in whatever area that is, whether it's communication, whether it's sports, whether it's music, whether it's art, it doesn't matter. Whenever you invest time and energy into improving, it will become easier over time. So don't always have to be in first place. So have a growth mindset. Realize everybody has their own talents, and you can have those talents too if you work for them and you train for them and you learn and you can develop a talent. You can grow a talent like you grow a seed, like a corn seed or a pumpkin seed or whatever it is, or a tree or a flower. You can grow talents, and you may not be the very best talented person, but you can learn to a certain level based upon how much you put into that effort.